Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Today we are very fortunate. We have our Grace Premeshwari Padmavati Dasi Mataji from Mayapur, India. And Mataji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 17, verse number 10 onwards. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. You may take over the call whenever you are ready. Yeah, Mataji, I think you're on mute.
Krishna?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sure. I'll just share the screen. I think the host
Yes,
needs
I
to
made
give
you
me.
the
Yes.
co-host also.
You made.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Tire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtupi Om Gyananandasya Gyananjanashlakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvay Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Prachadane Nirvishesha Shanivadi Bhashatade Shatadane Vancha kalpatarobhyasya kripasindhudvaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Shigaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Shri Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shvasa Rishkaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this chance to meditate on Srimad Bhagavatam and speak something. And I would like to seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas that I can speak something in line with what like I've been hearing, and in line with the mood and the teachings of the Guru Parampara. So we are reading from Canto 8 of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 17. The title of this chapter is The Supreme Lord Agrees to Become Aditi's Son. And we are reading text 10 today. Ayu param vapur abhishtamatulya lakshmir Rasa Shakala Yoga Gunastri Varga Jnanam cha kevalam ananta bhavanti tushtat Tvato nirnam kim sapatna jayadirashi. Translation. O Unlimited One, if your Lordship is satisfied, one can very easily obtain a lifetime as long as that of Lord Brahma, a body either in the upper, lower, or middle planetary systems, unlimited material opulence, religion, economic development, and satisfaction of the senses, full transcendental knowledge, and 8 yogic perfections. What to speak of such petty achievements as conquering one's rivals? Since there's no purport for this verse, I'll also read the next verse. Shri Shuka Uvacha Adityaivam Srito Rajan Bhagavan Pushkarekshanah Kshetragya Sarvabhutanam Iti Hovacha Bharata. Shukdev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, best of the Bharata dynasty, when the lotus-eyed Lord, the super soul of all living entities, was thus worshipped by Aditi, he replied as follows. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha देवमातर्भवत्या मे विख्यातं चिरकाङ्क्षितं यत्सपत्नैर्हृतश्रीणां चावितानां स्वधामतः. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Mother of the demigods, I have already understood your long cherished desires for the welfare of your sons, who have been deprived of all opulences and driven from their residence by their enemies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being situated in everyone's heart, and especially in the hearts of his devotees, is always ready to help devotees in adversity, since he knows everything. He knows how things are to be adjusted, and he does the needful to relieve the suffering of this devotee. So we see here, like, in this chapter, in the previous few chapters, the context has been set wherein Aditi, she did the Payovrat, desiring of a son, because she want, after seeing that the demigods were driven away from the kingdoms by the demons, and they had lost everything. Aditi, being their mother, was really pained seeing the suffering of her children, and so Aditi, had to like Aditi approached her husband Kashyapa Muni that I want some solution, and then Kashyapa Muni explains to her this whole Payovrat process for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then how one can get the son by doing that Payovrat. Now, Aditi, when she does this, at the end of it, the Lord is pleased with her and he appears in the four-handed Vishnu form. And when the Lord appears in the four-handed Vishnu form, then Aditi is very happy. Like you all have heard in the last few days in few classes, that how she's ecstatic, and then she she wants to obviously offer prayers, and then she starts speaking. So the first verse that we read today was like the last verse which Aditi spoke after she has had darshan of the Lord, after she glorifies the Lord. Then finally, she's saying her desire was to conquer the rivals, so that basically her sons, the demigods, can get back their kingdom. But then she's saying that if the Lord is satisfied, then what is this? This conquering one's rivals is a very petty achievement. You can get much, 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 much more than that. You can, she's listing down everything. Life, obtain a lifetime as long as that of Brahma. You can get a body in any of the planetary systems, unlimited material opulence, economic development, satisfaction of senses, the Ashtasiddhis, anything, everything can be obtained if the Lord is satisfied. And what to speak of these petty achievements? So, here, a similar mood is seen amongst various other devotees when they have actually get the darshan of the Lord. You see Dhruva Maharaj, he was a small kid, 5-year-old kid. He wanted to sit on the lap of his father. And Suruchi, being the stepmother, she stopped him from sitting on the lap of his father, and she told him that if you want to sit on the lap of your father, then you go and pray to Lord Vishnu, so that in your next birth you are born from my womb, and only then you can sit on the lap of your father. Now, Dhruva was also a Kshatriya, and he was like, this was something very insulting, and he was deeply hurt by it. He goes crying to his mother Suniti, and Suniti says that, look, my child, I cannot really do anything. If you really want something, you have to pray to Lord Vishnu. So then Dhruva, he really takes that very seriously, and he leaves home and he goes to the forest and he's searching for Vishnu. And then finally we know how he's guided by Narada Muni. So when he's guided by Narada Muni, at that step, and then finally being pleased by his tapasya, being pleased by his devotion, Lord Vishnu appears in front of him, and Dhruva is dumb, he just cannot speak anything. And then the Lord touches his forehead with his shankha, concha, and then Dhruva Maharaj starts reciting wonderful prayers, and then At the end, when Lord asks him, ask me what you want, Dhruva says that I was searching for broken pieces of glasses because when he left home, he wanted a kingdom which was greater than that of his great grandfather. That is basically a kingdom greater than Lord Brahma. So, he had left home with that desire. But then when he actually had the darshan of the Lord, he said, I've got so much, like I've got much more, I've got the highest thing. So now, I mean, I was so stupid. I was trying to look for broken pieces of glass. So I don't want anything. But then, the Lord obviously, like, I mean, like, as we just read in the 12th verse right now, Lord says, so, anyways, I'll come to that. But here, the centric idea or the centric point is, sorry, is there?
That
Yeah, sorry. So the central point of it here is that how the devotees, they may have their desires, like how in Srimad Bhagavatam, in I think this Akama Sarva Kamo verse, that whether you have no desires or you have a lot of material desires, you have to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You do Tivrena Bhakti Yogina, like do very strict devotional service, and then if you please him, then you're achieving perfection. So we see so many such pastimes in pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, like whether it's Dhruva Maharaj, whether it's Prahlad Maharaj. I mean, Prahlad Maharaj never wanted anything. Like, even when the Lord asked him, he said, no, my Lord, I don't want anything. And then the Lord Nasimdev still wanted to give him something. So Prahlad Maharaj says that if you still want to give me something, then, you please excuse my father who has committed so many offenses. And, you please provide him liberation. Like, you please like give him moksha. And obviously, like, he had a compassionate heart. So he wanted like all the demons, like everyone in that dynasty, whoever had committed offenses against the Lord to be delivered. So that is the mood of a devotee. Like that, in Mayapur, we have this wonderful pastime of Kulavecha Sridhar. Like how he was from a Brahmana family, but from an external viewpoint, he was not very well to do. Like he was, a poor Brahmana. And in order to maintain his life, he would sell banana leaves and whatever amount he used to get, very meager, 50% of that he used to spend for worshipping Mother Ganga. And then, little Nimai, he used to come to Kolavecha Sridhar and, he used to do a lot of bargaining for that banana leaf. Like, oh, this is so much, this. And then, like that, go on for hours and hours together. And then finally, sometimes Nimai would just return away or he would take the banana leaf and without even paying Kolavecha Sridhar. But Kolavecha Sridhar never said anything. Then later on, when Nimai grew up, like he became Nimai Pandit, and then when in Shiva Sangan, when the Mahaprakash Leela was happening, that time the Lord was, he was revealing obviously his opulences, but then he was also revealing the glories of each and every devotee. And the Lord wanted to reveal the glories of this devotee, that is Bolavecha Sridhar. So then the Lord, he tells the devotees, go get Sridhar. Now, no one knew who this Brahmana Sridhar was. So then the Lord says that, there's a marketplace. Like even today, if we go, like for those of you who are familiar with Mayapur, when we go to Rajapur Jagannath temple, behind that is Kolavecha Sridhar's house. And just like maybe 1.5 kilometers from the Rajapur temple is a marketplace. It's called the Bamanpukur marketplace. So it was very close to the marketplace. So Nimai told the devotees that you all go to the marketplace and then nearby, anyhow, the house from where you get to hear the chanting of the holy names of the Lord at this hour of the night. It was night time that time. That is the house of Sridhar, and you please bring him. And then, devotees go, and it's a very nice description, like how Kulavecha Sridhar first he paints, hearing that, he's been called, and then he's taken, and then, again, he has the darshan of Mahaprabhu, and he's very, very ecstatic, very, very blissful. And then the Lord asks Kulavecha Sridhar that what is it that you want? I'm so pleased with you, I can give you anything. I can give you, all the opulences in the material world, everything I can give you. But he says, no, I don't want anything. What I want is, if you're pleased with him, just kindly give me this blessing or this benediction, that in lifetime after lifetime, whenever I'm born, I want to have the darshan of that same Nimai who used to come in his child form to me and bargain with me for that, banana leaf. I want that pastime, that incident to happen lifetime after lifetime with me. That, I want Nimai to come to my shop, bargain with me playfully, and take that away. Like, that is what I want. Because devotees, like, they relish these kind of reciprocation with the Lord. So the Lord can give a lot of things. So like how Aditi is saying, if your lordship is satisfied, one can very easily obtain so many things: material opulence, life, like, lifetime as long as Brahma, body either in upper, lower, middle planetary systems, economic development, satisfaction of the senses, full transcendental knowledge, so many things one can obtain. So what to speak of such petty achievements as? So Aditi also, like, she reveals her heart. Now, obviously, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he knows what is there in the heart of everyone. Like in the next verse, Shukdev Goswami is saying that, like he starts speaking, and then the Lord says that, oh mother of demigods, I've already understood your long cherished desire for the welfare of your sons who have been deprived of all opulences and given. Now, it's not surprising because the Lord is situated as Paramatma in the heart of every living entity. So, what is hidden from them? He knows exactly, like, what is there in the heart of every devotee, and he's always ready to help the devotees in adversity. So now, now someone might ask, then why do we have so many? Why do we have so many problems? Or, why do apparently, like, devotees, they like, it looks like they have a lot of problems. Now, again, there are two ways to look at it, in the sense that, like how it's said that um, problems are there in this material world, but suffering is optional. Like, it's not that just because a devotee externally has a lot of problems, he's going to be very, like very disturbed or very miserable. Like, for example, here in Mayapur, we have our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj. Now, from an external point of view, if we see, his body has so much problems. Like, once, an Ayurvedic doctor said that, Swamiji, your body is a museum of diseases. So many health problems, like, everything. But he says this so many times, like, in so many lectures he has said it. And when devotees go and meet him or talk to him, he said that, yeah, my body has problems, but I'm in bliss. Why? Because he's always, trying to see how he can please Srila Prabhupada, fulfill the instructions that Srila Prabhupada gave, how he can preach this Krishna conscious movement across the world. And, chanting, like he relishes chanting the holy names of the Lord so much. For us, sometimes to complete our 16 rounds becomes a challenge if, little bit we are busy with work, or if we have some additional responsibilities, or, if our health is not okay. For him, in that condition, like being wheelchair bound and so many health challenges, he is, like, on an average, he's chanting at least more than 20 rounds every day. And, like, he had recently, like, he sends a message, fortnightly message for his disciples. And in that, he has written that, the last, like, I've been chanting, like, on an average, usually 24, 25 rounds is what is the average. So I was just wondering, like, how, see, that is not possible unless someone has really that taste for the holy name. So for us, like, at least for me, if I speak, 16 rounds done means, okay, it's like a relief. Okay, today, at least we have completed 16 rounds. Next, dekha jayega, right? Except for the festival days where, we consciously reduce our other engagements and we have time dedicated, and, we try to chant extra rounds. But otherwise, on like regular days when, there's so many other things going on, it becomes like, oh, okay, 16 rounds done. It's a relief. But that's because we have not, like, at least for me when I speak, that we have not developed that taste for the holy name. If we develop the taste for the holy name, then we'll keep on chanting, irrespective of, whatever external circumstances are. So like that. So devotees may also, like, from an external standpoint of view, it may seem that devotees also have problems, but they are not suffering, they're not miserable, because their mind is always absorbed in Krishna. Like, his praise Amrendra Prabhu, he was telling in my class that, what is the problem? Like, what is our problem here? It is definitely not our spouse, it is definitely not our job, it's definitely not this, not that, like, so many things he said. It is basically our mind, because the mind that is not engaged or that is not absorbed in Krishna conscious activities, that is bound to be, like, disturbed. So even if like, if our mind is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, or it's fully absorbed in, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy names of the Lord, then irrespective of what external circumstances we have, we will not feel that not feel that miserable. So then that's the point, that like, and then the Lord, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He knows everything. So, at our neophyte stage, we don't even have to become so depressed. Like, sometimes, we face problems and we feel that why is the Lord not helping me if He knows everything? And also, we may feel that, okay, this problem is not letting me letting me do my Krishna conscious activities or do my devotional activities. So then we should actually go and pray to the Supreme Lord that, my Lord, I want to do bhakti, but I'm getting so perturbed by this problem. Please bless me so that I can, like, at least, this problem gets handled in such a way that I'm able to continue my bhakti. Like, you see, Kadama Muni in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, like, when he, he wanted to marry, so he wanted to experience the Grahastha ashram. So he does tapasya, he pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he requests for a wife, so that he can also just taste, like, how this enjoyment, or what this enjoyment in Grahastha life or this material world is. And then eventually he wants to give it up and take sannyas. So he says to the Lord that this is my desire. Please give, please grant me a wife, so that, I can do this, and then eventually, like, I can fully surrender. So similarly, like, for us also, the right mode of prayer, like, when we are in a difficulty, rather than going and praying to the Lord, oh, please remove this problem, please remove that problem, we should also try to link it with what do we want by that problem to be gone, like what we want actually. And then we can actually very humbly pray to the Lord that, my Lord, please help me get rid of this problem, so that my mind can be better absorbed in your lotus feet. Now, get rid of the problem or be able to handle the problem. Like, I mean, either ways. But ultimately, what I want, please bless me so that I can increase my devotional activities. Because other than the devotional activities, there's nothing, like, nothing in the material world will not be full of problems. Like, Prahlad Maharaj, he says in the seventh canto that dukkha ushadam tathapi dukkha. Like, in this material world, solution for one problem creates 10 other problems. So better, like, rather than, trying to find solution and this and that, we should just pray to the Lord that, please help us so that we handle the problem in some way, or, the problem gets solved and we are able to do our bhakti, so that we can actually go out, like, we can just get out of this material world. And the Lord is just waiting, like, here Srila Prabhupada is writing, the Lord is always ready to help devotees in adversity, because He knows everything. So He knows exactly how things have to be adjusted. Like, sometimes, for us, we feel that, okay, this problem, this is the solution. And we, keep praying to the Lord that, please give me this, please give me this. But the thing is, when we surrender to the Lord, we just pray that, my Lord, please help me so that the problem is handled, so that I can do Krishna conscious activities. Then the Lord demonstrates such wonderful solutions, which we would not have even, realized, like, we would not have even thought of, because our brains are tiny, limited, like, especially Kali Yuga brains. So, what solution we know? But here, like, how Srila Prabhupada is writing, the Lord knows everything. He knows how things have to be adjusted, and He does the needful to relieve the suffering of His devotees. So, in this way, the Lord is always ready to help devotees in adversity, but He wants that the devotee prays to Him, requests Him for solution. Continuing. Text 13. Tan Vinilshitya Sammare Durmadan Asurarushabhan Pratilabda Jaya Shribhi Putrai Richasya Pasitum. Oh Devi, oh goddess, I can understand that you want to regain your sons and be together with them to worship me. After defeating the enemies in battle and retrieving your abode and opulences. So you see, why, why Aditi wants to solve that problem, like why she wants to regain her sons and, get, defeat the enemies in battle, retrieve the abode and opulences. Why? In order to worship the Supreme Lord. So the central theme has to always be how to worship the Supreme Lord, how to basically, more and more, like we have to try and engage in Krishna consciousness, serve the Supreme Lord. And whatever, like we only pray to the Lord that please just, keep things in such a way that we can actually continue a devotional service. Like Srila Prabhupada says that, family life at least has to be peaceful, because when it's peaceful, only then, when the mind is peaceful, then we can actually do bhakti. Because if there's no peace, then we are not so advanced that we'll be able to do bhakti. So like that, the whole objective for us has to be that we want to do bhakti. So that is like the right mood of prayer to the Lord. Like we can actually pray that, my Lord, I have a problem and it's a very big problem for me, but please help me handle it so that I can I can do my bhakti nicely. Indrajeshtas Swatanayen Hatanam Yuddhi Vidvisham Striyorudantidasadya Drashtum Ichasi Dukkhita. You want to see the wives of the demons lamenting for the death of their husbands. When those demons, the enemies of your sons, are killed in the battle by the demigods, of whom Indra is the chief. Atmajan susam hridam swam Pratyarita yashashriya nakapishtamidhishtaya kridato drashtumichasi. You want your sons to regain their lost reputation and opulence and live again on their heavenly planet as usual. See, here also there's been very interesting thing. If you see the past prayers, Aditi has glorified the Lord, right? Only last line she says that, what to speak of petty achievements of conquering one's rivals. So that's just one last line that she says. But if you see, the Lord being situated in her heart knew exactly what she wanted and why she did that prayer. So now he himself is telling. So, this also shows the greatness and, the opulences of the Lord, like how he is all knowledgeable. And, he's like, he's situated in the Padmatma, in the heart of everyone as Padmatma. Like Parashar Muni, he defines or he explains this term Bhagavan. So Bhagavan means one who has 6 opulences, and one of that opulence is knowledge. So one who is all knowledgeable and also who has, who is fully renounced, he's the most beautiful, he's the most wealthy, the most powerful, etc. Like that, all these 6 opulences, he is Bhagavan. Text 16. Prayodhunate surayutanatha aparaniya iti devi memati yatte nukuleshwara vipragupta navikramasatra sukham dadati. O mother of demigods, in my opinion, almost all the shades of demons are now unconquerable, for they are being protected by Brahmanas, whom the Supreme Lord also always favors. Thus, the use of power against them now will not at all be a source of happiness. Perfect. When a person is favored by Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, no one can defeat him. Even the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not interfere when one is protected by Brahmana. It is said, Go Brahmana Hitayacha. The Lord's first inclination is to give all benedictions to the cows and the Brahmanas. Therefore, if Brahmanas favor someone, the Lord does not interfere, nor can anyone interfere with the happiness of such a person. So now, like here we can see how, the chiefs of demons, like the Lord says, almost all the chiefs of demons are unconquerable because they're being protected by Brahmanas. So we know like how Bali Maharaj, he was, he was inimical to the demigods, but otherwise he was very respectful of Brahmanas. He used to give a lot of charity to the Brahmanas. He used to worship Lakshmi Narayan. So, from he was a great devotee. Obviously, he's the great grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. So, sorry, grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. So he's anyways, he's a great devotee. But I'm just saying, even with all these activities, we can understand his greatness. So the Lord is saying, Srila Prabhupada is writing in the book here, Go Brahmana Hitayacha. Supreme Personality of God, his inclination is to give all benedictions to cows and Brahmanas. Therefore, you see, when Indra offends Lord Krishna, and Krishna does the Govardhan Leela, after that, when Indra realizes his mistakes, he brings Surabhi cow. Why? Because, Go Mata is in front. And when Gomata goes to Krishna, then unlikely that, the Lord will exhibit anger. So he's using that. So like that, the Lord is always favoring these cows and Brahmanas. So now the Lord is saying that these demons, they have become unconquerable. Why? Because they're being protected by Brahmanas, whom the Lord also favors. So, such people who are favored by Brahmanas, but then the Lord will also not interfere, and nor can anyone else interfere with happiness. Obviously, if the Lord only doesn't want to interfere, then who else has the capacity to interfere with the happiness of such a person? So, from this, we also understand that if we want to get the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we should also serve Gomata and the Brahmanas, like Vaishnavas, basically, in our case. So, there's a lot of emphasis on sadhu sangha for us, for us, that is for neophytes to make quick spiritual progress. Sadhu sangha is there even in the elevated stage, liberated stage also. You see the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were all liberated entities. They used to assemble in Jagannath Puri and then read Srimad Bhagavatam. So sadhu sangha is there also. But for us to elevate ourselves, it's very important. There's a lot of stress on sadhu sangha. So what do we do with it? We naturally have to serve these Vaishnavas, seek their blessings, because Vaishnavas' hearts are more merciful than the Lord himself. Right? Vaishnavas are more merciful than the Lord himself. So it might not be so easy to get the blessings, direct mercy of the Lord. But if we approach a Vaishnava, he will easily give his mercy. And then, by pleasing the Vaishnava, by serving him, we can also get the mercy of the Lord, because the Lord always favors those who are being protected by Brahmanas. And then, Gomata, we should also try to serve the cows. In fact, when if you look at the various mantras which are chanted when the Vivaha Yagya takes place. So, for us, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, there's a book called Satkriya Sada Deepika written by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, which has all the samskaras that have been listed. Starting from the, we have the Vivaha Samskar, we have the Garbhadan Samskar, and then, when the child is born, then, not even when the child is born, sorry, before that, Pumsavan, Samantanayanam, then Soshashti Homa, sorry. Then, after the child is born, then the series of various samskaras ending with the Antim Samskar. So like that, the whole series of samskaras, along with, what mantras to be chanted, what is the procedure to be followed, all that has been listed down in this book called Satkriya Saradipika by Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So, one of the vows that, grihastas take when they are doing the Vivaha Yagya, and, they chant that in the grihastha life, it will be their duty to serve the cows. And then, so as grihastas, I think most of us on the call are grihastas, so it is our duty to serve Gomata. Now, obviously, in olden days, everyone had a cow in their own house. So, the day, it used to be very auspicious. The day would begin by worshipping Mother Cow. Then, all these auspicious items like cow dung, cow urine was easily available. and then, getting blessings from the tail of the cow. All this was very easy. Now, obviously, with a lifestyle where we don't have cows at home, and in some places in cities, it's also like the Goshala is also very far away. I agree. I mean, I understand it's difficult, but at the same time, we should try, like, as much as possible in some way or the other. We try to serve Gomata and we try to serve Vaishnavas. Why? Now, we are not, again, we are not trying to get material happiness by serving them. Our objective to serve them is to request them that please help us get the favor of the Supreme Lord. Please help us reach Krishna. Please help us get Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti. Sorry, I just think water just. Text 17. अथाप्योपाय मम देवि चिन्त्य सन्तोषितस्य व्रतचर्यया ते ममाचनं नार्हति गन्तुमन्यथा श्रद्धानुरूपं फलहेतुकत्वात्. Now, Aditi, hearing the first verse, she might have thought that, oh my God, like, why did I do this whole austerity or this whole tapasya? Now the Lord is saying nothing can be done to the enemies; they're all unconquerable, right? So she might get that doubt that then is that means is all my efforts waste? No. So here in this verse, the Lord says, yet because I have been satisfied by the activities of your vow, O goddess Aditi, I must find some means to favor you, for worship of me never goes in vain, but certainly gives the desired result according to what one deserves. So, like in the previous verse, we just said, we just read in one of the purports that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart and he can relieve all their like the adversity of his devotees. Why? Because he knows everything and he knows exactly how to adjust things so that the devotee's suffering is reduced. So basically, in this verse, we get like Krishna is himself saying to Mother Aditi that because I've been satisfied by your activities, by the activities of your vow. So basically, because I've been satisfied by your payovrat, I must find some means to favor you. So don't feel that all your efforts have gone in waste, because worship of me never goes in waste, but will give you the desired result. So even though the chiefs of the demons are unconquerable, we cannot defeat them by using power. That will be stupidity. But your purpose will also be achieved. So then, like in the subsequent Leela, we know that how Aditi, like being pleased with Mother Aditi, the Lord gave her like what she wanted, like the demigods regained their kingdom. Apparently, it looked like Bali Maharaj, like everything was taken away from him. But then, that was just because Krishna wanted to show the glories of his devotees, right? So in that way, he revealed the glories of Bali Maharaj to the whole world. And then finally, he gave him something which is, even greater than what the demigods have, right? The planet which was given to Bali Maharaj is actually more opulent than the Swarga where Indra lives. And not just that, in order to ensure that no one comes and disturbs Bali Maharaj, Vaman Dev is being the personal gatekeeper of Bali Maharaj. Now, Indra doesn't have that. He doesn't have the supreme personality of Godhead, doing gatekeeping for him. No. But Bali Maharaj, Lord was so pleased by him, by his, surrender and giving up, like giving away everything, that the Lord Vamandev finally said that he will, do personal. He'll be the personal gatekeeper for Bali Maharaj. So this is the reciprocation that the Lord has with his devotees. So the whole objective of actually taking away everything from Bali Maharaj was not like some punishment for him. It was not like, like despite him doing so much for brahmanas, cows, etc., the Lord took away everything. So no, the Lord in these verses, he's clearly saying that my first inclination is to favor those who are protected by cows and brahmanas. But at the same time, because Mother Aditi has done this Payograt, the Lord, and she had pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he says that I must find some means to favor you because my worship never goes in vain, and that will certainly give you the desired result according to what one deserves. So this is like again, sorry, text 18. त्वयाचितश्चाहमपत्यगुप्तये पयोव्रतेनानुगुणं समीदत स्वांशेन पुत्रत्वमुपेत्य ते सुतान् भोक्तास्मि मार्च तपस्य दृष्टितीर्थ. You have prayed to me and properly worshipped me by performing the great Payograt ceremony for the sake of protecting your sons. Because of Kashyapa Muni's austerities, I shall agree to become your son and thus protect your other sons. So here we see that how Lord, he was pleased with both Aditi and Kashyapa Muni's austerities. And therefore, he says that yes, I will become your son and I will protect your other sons. उपधावपतिं भद्रे प्रजापतिम् अकल्मषं मां च भावयति पत्या एवं रूपमवस्थितम्. Always thinking of me as being situated within the body of your husband, Kashyapa, go worship your husband who has been purified by his austerity. So now the Lord starts to delineate the process by which Aditi can get the Lord as a son. See, like for us, we have like the how do you say? I'm forgetting the word. Like you have prayojana. So basically, you have a process, you have a goal, and in order to achieve the goal, you have a process. So here, yeah, sambandha, abhideya, and prayojana. So here the goal is that you like she should she wanted relief for her sons, and then the Lord says that I'm going to give it to you because I'm very pleased by your Payograt ceremony, and because of Kashyapa Muni's austerities I agree to become your son and thus protect your other son. So this is the goal, this is a benediction that is being given. Now how to do it, what is the process to do it, what is the abhideya, how to do it, for that the Lord is now giving to Mother Aditi that you do this, and in this way you can achieve your goal. I think I have already covered a lot of verses, so I'll just stop here for today. Are there any thoughts, questions, comments, anything?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dunu Pranam. All glory Shishila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Thank you for a very nice class. Yeah, this is a very nice pastime from Aditi, and now Lord is replying to her. So I don't have any question. So I will ask devotees if you have any question, any realization.
Sorry, Prabhu, I just missed it because someone had come. Can you please repeat? I'm so sorry.
No, I don't have a question, but I will ask other devotees, like, if you have any question, any realization, you can share. But one thing I was, while reading the verses, um, so generally, like when we, like when devotees should pray to the Lord, Lord should not demand that devotee should not demand the Lord that, okay, I want this, I want that. Generally, a prayer should be like, if you so desire, like भगवान से कहते हैं like अगर आपको यही ठीक लगता है तो then you do it for me. So how do we take this as a versus here Aditi is asking, okay, please help me materially and defeating these enemies in the battle. So here, like, it is demanding versus a bhava of the devotee should be like, if you so desire, please do it, whatever is right for me. And then Lord already knows like what is going on in our mind. So how
Right,
our
right.
prayer should be, like we should be exactly specifying what we need, or just say in general, okay, if you so desire, do whatever you feel is right for me in this condition. So I'm just confused in in these two situations while praying to the Lord.
Okay. So, yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, see, the thing is, like, we have various steps. Like, as I said, right? Akama sarva kamova moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogina. So, basically, whether someone has a lot of material desires or has absolutely no desires or is only desirous of liberation, for everyone, what is prescribed is tivrena bhakti, like, very strict bhakti. So, now, ideally, yes, as you said, at the highest stage, the mood of a devotee is that, if you so desire, my Lord, whatever you want, you do. And because the Lord knows what is exactly right for us, and therefore we do not tell anyone. But the challenge is that at certain stage, like, if when we are not at that advanced stage, when we are at a slightly lower stage, it becomes very difficult to be able to actually follow that. Like, we at our conditioned state, we may aspire, like, like we should definitely know that this is the highest stage and that should be our mood. We may aspire to get that, but we may fail. Just like, a child, when he starts walking, he falls down and then he again gets up and he starts walking. So, at that time, parents also try to give them some support. So, for us, at our stage, if we are not that advanced, and if we are becoming too disturbed, or if we are having some problem which we are not able to deal with, then at that stage we can actually go to the Lord and we can request him that, my Lord, please help me, somehow solve this problem for me so that I can do more and more bhakti. That is, like, see, first someone prays that, my Lord, I have this problem, please solve this for me. That is the, let's say, the basic step. Or actually, even before that, it comes like, you have a problem, we are going to demigods. Then comes the stage where we say that, okay, we have a problem, but instead of going to this other, like, various demigods, we will just go to Lord Krishna, because he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So if like, if you water the root, then the whole tree is nourished. So if you please Krishna, then obviously all these administrative representatives, demigods, they'll also be pleased. So you'll get it. Now, that is nothing. The next step is, why I want the problem to be solved for me. What should be the mindset? The mindset should not be that I want the problem to be solved so that I can do more sense gratification. No. For a devotee, the idea is, I want the problem to be solved so that I can do more bhakti. So Aditi was at that stage. She said that, like, I mean, like how Krishna says that you want to, be reunited with your sons, and then you want them to regain all their opulences and their kingdom and everything. Why? So that you can worship me along with them. So that was Aditi's stage. She did not go to other demigods like Shiva, Brahma, etc. She did not ask for this problem to be solved for her own sense gratification, like, if I get back heaven, then nicely I can enjoy the luxuries of heaven. No, she was living with her husband Kashyapa Muni as simple brahmanas. So Aditi did not ask for personal sense gratification. Why did she ask? She asked it because so that this was too disturbing, too perturbing, and she wanted to worship the Lord. So she's at that stage. And then obviously, like, after that comes the advanced stage where we don't ask anything. How gopis, I mean, they're the most advanced devotees. They will ask nothing for themselves. They only want the pleasure of Krishna. They only want to serve the Lord. In fact, there's this whole pastime, like how Narad Muni, when he wants to reveal the glories of the Lord's devotees, he wants to find out who is the highest devotee. And then Krishna does this whole pastime where he has a big headache, like, huge headache in Dwarka, severe headache, sorry. Then, Narad Muni goes to various devotees and requests them for the dust of their their feet to be applied on the forehead of Krishna to relieve him of his headache. everyone denies. Why? Because if you give dust from your feet to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you'll go rot in hell. So every single devotee denies. But then when Narad Muni approaches the gopis, then the gopis very sweetly they say, yes, if giving the dust of a feet can relieve the headache of Lord Krishna, then please take it. We don't mind suffering for millions of years in hell if that activity can result in relief of pain for us, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the mood of the devotees. So that is the highest mode. But as I said, step by step, worship, like from demigod worshipper to come to worshipping Krishna. Why? For sense gratification only. Then the next step is no sense gratification, but still you have material desires, but you want the material desires to be fulfilled so that you can do bhakti nicely. And then, gradually, step by step, it keeps going, it keeps progressing further. So I hope that, that answers the question.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you for explaining in the multiple steps. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So, dear devotees, you have any question?
Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful class. Mataji, my question is here in this case, the Lord is reciprocating with Aditi, and then you brought up the great example of the Lord reciprocating with Bali Maharaj, and we know how the Lord reciprocated with Arjuna being his charioteer. For us, when we are trying to do service, we don't have the law directly telling us or reciprocating, but can we take the signs as reciprocation? If something is happening easily, we are trying to do a service, and everything is falling into place. Can we take that as the Lord is favoring us, and then when we are doing a service and maybe we take a lot of endeavor but nothing works out properly, should we think that Lord doesn't want us to do that service? Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So the first part, yes, Prabhu, I think, the answer to the first part is yes, that, when we're doing some service and, we get a lot of like positive signs or positive support, then that is taken as the Lord's reciprocation. But the latter, like, when we are doing some service and we are facing a lot of challenges, then automatically it doesn't mean that the Lord doesn't want us to do that service. He wants us to actually see many things happen in the life of devotees. One, purification, because we, at our conditioned state, we have a lot of anarthas. So, in order to purify us of these anarthas, some challenges will come, and then it can be a test of of our commitment and dedication also, that despite whatever challenges come, how much focused I am doing that service for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. So that's one category. The other category is, yes, at times it may be that, Krishna or the Lord doesn't want us to do that service, but he wants us to do some other service. So now how do we really differentiate? Because as you said, like, for us, we don't have that direct connection, or we like here in front of Aditi, the Lord personally appeared and he spoke to her, but for us it may not happen that way. So how do we understand? So therefore we need Guru, like, whether it's a Diksha Guru or a Shiksha Guru, who is also equally elevated and properly following the instructions of the Guru Parampara and everything, leading an exemplary lifestyle. So when we face such a dilemma in our lives, that we are facing challenges in certain services, whether it is for my purification, whether it is for testing my dedication for doing that service, or whether that the service is only not is inappropriate for me, like whether to know that where it falls, this problem or the situation falls in which category, in order to know that, we have to approach a Guru. We should not speculate on our own, because what do we understand? Like, we may not even know whether it's our mind or it's the super soul. So like in our conditioned state, it's very tricky. So therefore we have to take shelter and guidance from a bona fide spiritual master. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, Mataji, thank you very much. But small things, you don't go to spiritual master. So sometimes you have to just take cue from what is happening day to day.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
we can
so
do Guru Sadhu Shastra, Prabhu. Like, if it's a small thing and we're not able to go to the spiritual master, we can do Guru Sadhu Shastra. Like, using our intelligence, we can try to see, like, what is being given in the Shastras. And we can even pray. Like, sometimes we don't even have to go to our good, like, spiritual master. We can even pray to the Lord. We can even pray to Srila Prabhupada. And, sometimes, like, when we pray in that way and request for a solution, and then when we just open the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, exactly the solution comes there. Like, we read it and, we feel like Srila Prabhupada is just telling it to us. So that is also there. I mean, we have to, like, I would say, use our intelligence to see, like, how it is.
thank you, Mataji. Amazing answer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for a very nice class and again all these questions and answers. So one may think that a devotee might think, um, I have done so many vratas, I have done so many austerities, Ekadashi vrata and everything. So why is the Lord not happy, or why is Lord not fulfilling my wishes, whatever the spiritual or material desire I have? But in case of Aditi, Lord appeared, in front of her. So is this because Lord? It is only because of the Lord promised her that I will appear as your son. Is that the why? And then Aditi was doing her endeavors also in the service to please the Lord. So how should a devotee will take? Okay, I don't know if if the Lord has made any promise to me, but how would the devotee will take it positively? Like, okay, I'm doing all these services. I don't know if the Lord is going to be pleased with me and when He will be pleased. So how will that mindset will think? Um, when will I see the Lord?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Like, how do I say? I understand this. This is this is when we are facing a lot of challenges in life or problems in life, despite doing services, despite doing vratas. There's a very natural question that comes to our mind. So I would like to quote from, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj's lecture. Once Maharaj was saying that, like, he was talking about humility actually, and he was saying that, how we have done so many sins and so many millions of births that we have taken so far, right? Now, in this one lifetime, okay, we are doing some, we're doing some bhakti, we are trying to follow the whole regulative principles, we're trying to chant the holy names, and, we're trying to, like, uh, not commit sins. So we are trying all of that, but if we are also trying to cultivate humility. So if a humble heart will never feel that I've done so much. The humble heart actually, I mean, what does a humble heart feel? They feel that I am like Mosama Patita Prabhu, like Mosama Patita Prabhu, na pai bear. Like, you will not find a fallen person like me anywhere in this three worlds. Why? Because in millions of births, I've done so many sins. And even if whatever I'm doing now, that cannot compensate, or, like, kind of, how do you say, like, it cannot purify the effects of even 1% of the sins that I've done. So, like this, a humble devotee's heart will think, and he will feel that I deserve much, much worse. But my Lord, you are so merciful that you're only giving me a fraction of what I'm supposed to get. So now, that obviously is a very high stage. Like, it's very difficult to actually think like that in the initial stages. Like, Sanatan Goswami and all, they had that humility. Like, they would feel that they were so fallen, and, like, if someone sees them, they feel that, that other person will get, like, like, how do you say, he'll get contaminated. So, because they like Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami were serving the Yavanas. So they out of their sheer humility, they used to think like that, if some, like in Jagannath Puri does this pastime, if someone sees, or forget seeing him also, if they step on the shadow of Sanatana Goswami, they'll get contaminated. So like this, that was the humility. They didn't say, oh, we are such, great Vaishnavas, and why they are saying like this just because we had to, serve some Yavana. They never said that. So for us, I completely understand, like, when we face difficulties, we may also feel that why, despite doing so much, am I getting this difficulty? But then that's when, we have to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, take shelter of devotees, so that we are able to see things with the Shastric perspective. We're able to cultivate that humility. And then, we are genuinely able to develop that quality, or develop that feeling, that my Lord, I deserve much, much worse, but you're so kind, you've only given me this much. Like, for example, there is this, there's this one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. I forget the, the verse lyrics, but the translation, it comes in the chapter where, Brahmaji is like he's offering his prayers to the Lord after the Brahma Vimohan Leela. So, it says that for a devotee who is silently undergoing the results of his past mistakes while praying to the Supreme Lord, offering, prayers to the Supreme Lord, such a person becomes fit for liberation, just like how the rich man's son is entitled to the inheritance. So that is the... Yeah, that kind of compound. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you for quoting. It was just not coming. So, that was. So, like this, I mean, it is very difficult. Like, it is easy to say now, but, to apply and follow it, yes, it becomes difficult. But that's when we have to really take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, take shelter of devotees, take shelter of Vaishnavas, because that's when we'll be able to apply these principles in our life. I recently read a very nice statement, like, one definition of tolerance by I think Mahatma Prabhu, one of his quotes, that tolerance means we will not feel only that we are being mistreated. Like, we don't feel only that anything wrong is happening to us. That's when, like, that's like that is tolerance. Like, not that, okay, someone is mistreating us, we keep quiet, but in our mind we are cursing the other person. That is not tolerance. I mean, that's okay. That's tolerance at a preliminary stage. But real tolerance is when, so like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, humbler than a blade of grass, like more tolerant than a tree. So that is the mood. Now, I understand that, I mean, like people will say that we cannot use this definition to justify mistreatment. So, yes, for people who are responsible for management and all, yes, it is their duty to award protection. Like, not just management, but anyone, like, for example, in a family, the head of the family, like, the main member, like the father or the husband, he has to give protection. But at the same time, for the others, they have to cultivate that mood of tolerance. So, in this way, how can we do that? Like, how can we come to that stage where, despite being very badly treated, we don't feel only anything? Like Haridas Thakur, he was beaten in 21 marketplaces with a whip, but he never developed any ill feelings towards those people. He just saw it as, like Krishna's will, or just as his karma. So he never, like, he was tolerant. So he exhibited that tolerance. He never had any ill feeling towards that person. So now he didn't say, oh, I am chanting, 3 lakh holy names every day, and why did this happen to me? Right? He didn't say that. Now, why or how was he not like in a position that he never said that? Because he had actually cultivated that quality of humility and tolerance. So he was seeing, like, when we see everything as Krishna's plans, we think that, we deserve much, much, much more suffering, but Krishna is so merciful that he is, very kindly just given me 1% of what I get. So that is the stage where we actually can, we will be in a position to face such situations. So I hope that answers the question, Prabhu.
Yes, Madhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Again, Mataji, very nice class. So if there are no other question, any comments, so we can end the class here.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.
Hare
This
Krishna,
excellent
Dani.
class as always, and
Thank you.
the last answer you gave was so nice, Mataji. Because always kids ask us like that. So it's a very beautiful answer you gave with the reference of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna.
So let's
Okay.
pay our obeisances
if
to all the Vaishnavas.
Yeah.
Vanchakalpatarishya
Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Bhagavatam ki jai.
Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Grace Premeshwari Padmavati Mataji ki
Jai.
jai. All Krishna Assembly devotees, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari